So the question I want to pose to you all, are the women in the USA and the Western world lower value women?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
To answer this question, how about we ask the notorious Candace Owens? Recently, Candace Owens was on the Whatever podcast, and she chimed in and she shared her cold, hard opinion about the low value women that men are having to deal with in the Western world. This video and her commentary is triggering. Let's get into this presentation, y'all, shall we?
In the 70s, before they got Planned Parenthood, went in the classroom and started funding initiatives, and they started teaching sex education. There used to not be sex education in school, and the way that they got it into the classroom in the 70s was by saying, it's better to teach them, which is what you're saying, because then they'll be more responsible. It actually, within one decade, it flipped. The majority of high schoolers were graduating with their virginity before there was sex education, and then when they put sex education in the classroom, the majority of them within 10 years were not graduating with their virginity. So it actually sexualized children. Yeah.
Sexualized children. Within one generation, value systems for women had completely flipped. Children were sexualized in the classroom. These young children were taught about sexual topics before their psychological minds had developed an understanding just what that means to be sexually active with people.
Abstinence, it used to be, considered, and I'm not at all trying to, I'm just telling you what the facts are here. When abstinence was the cultural simulation, when everyone said you should be abstinent, you should not have sex before marriage, that idea was permeated throughout culture. It was reflected in culture. There were no sex ads. There weren't people naked on the internet, and people lived their lives. It was considered a big thing, to lose your virginity. You were actually considered someone that maybe a guy wouldn't want to marry because you lost your virginity. That was the cultural understanding, in the 50s and the 60s. And then in the 70s, you had this fourth wave of feminism that reared its ugly head and started associating sexual promiscuity to freedom, and things completely flipped.
Get that, y'all. In the 50s and the 60s, they advocated for women to maintain their sexual purity and their virginity status, their virgin status, okay? This is what the collective of society in the world advocated for.
I think we've become, there was, to use a term, I was actually talking about this yesterday on a podcast. I thought it was pretty brilliant. But Paul Joseph Watson, I love his YouTube stuff, and he started talking about hoflation.
Hoflation. So Candace, let's listen, y'all. What is hoflation? Break it down, Candace, can you? Hoflation. Let's go.
That men used to have to do a lot less and get a very high value woman. He's like,
men used to have to do a lot less and get a high value woman. Do less and get a high value woman, right? This is how things used to be. Men had to do less and get a high value woman. Right now, the day is that modern women, they want high value men. But where are the high value women? Where are they? I'm sorry, where are they? High body counts is not a high value woman. I'll be the first to say that in this video right now. High body counts is not indicative of a high value woman. Nobody wants a tossed around, ran through, beat up, stretched out, blown out box. No man wants that.
And he's like, so think about your grandparents and your grandmother. She was a high value woman. She raised the kids. She was conservative. She was beautiful, all of these things. And now we live in this moment where everyone's kind of and you have to work harder to get a woman that doesn't have any self-respect or any value.
You have to work hard. That's so true. You have to work harder to get a woman who doesn't have any self-respect and value. Hoflation. What that mean? Hoflation. They have put their quality higher than what used to be the norm. What used to be the norm. It's like right now in the USA, last time I was in Flint, Michigan, we were paying like almost $4 a gallon for some premium gasoline, right? Okay. Imagine this. You're going to the same gas station and you are getting turd water, but you're paying $10 for a gallon of turd water. That has no value. That is the best analogy that I can give y'all. These hoes out here, they're selling us turd water. Okay, they're not high value women. I'm sorry, this is my opinion. They're not high value women.
I just thought it was a really interesting video. It was obviously funny, but he was saying something, and we live in hoflation now, where everybody in their own capacity is selling their bodies. And unfortunately, these are the options that men have. No, I'm not saying it's stunning to me that women talk about what men need to be and what men need to be, but I think just kind of the complete disintegration of when I look at what my grandmother looked like in pictures. She passed in 2013, and just how classy and how beautiful and how much I wanted to be like her. And now I look at women today, and I just think, man, I feel bad for guys. Like,
wow, a woman who can empathize with men and their challenges when it comes to finding a high quality, high value woman in the Western world of today. If anybody watches musical videos or anything that deals with the 1950s and before that, you'll see that there was a different level. There was a different standard that women lived by as a collective. Okay, this whole horror narrative was something that was frowned upon. Being a hoe in those times, in that era, was shamed. Today, everybody is selling their bodies. Okay, everybody is sexually exploiting themselves. Right, the attention, the sex, the putting the value on on sex and not on the quality of the person that you are on the inside. Wow, things have changed so much. Let's go.
That the pool is getting smaller, but also it's really positive for women that are conservative. And
true talk here. It is really positive right now for women who are truly conservative, because men want conservative women who are not out here sleeping around and very promiscuous with these astronomical body counts. So if you are a traditional woman with feminine traditional values, trust me, men are looking and they will pick you. Okay, they will pick you. My wife, for example, is a very traditional woman with wonderful feminine values. Okay.
Do you co-sign on the hoflation theory?
I believe. The women today are very low value, and so it's funny because the simulation is like men.
Boom! Just said it, y'all. Women today are low value. Oh yeah, she just answered the question, fellas. Women today in the Western world, putting the emphasis on the USA, are low value women. Low value.
Don't need a man. And it's funny that someone brought up Beyonce, because she's living the exact opposite of what she's singing. She's just making money because she knows how to make money in a hoflationary environment. Smart woman.
Beyonce making money in this whoflation environment, right? Singing about how much she don't need a man. But what, Beyonce?
She's like, I'm just going to pretend to be a hoe, but then actually privately I'm going to be like super.
Hold on.
Yeah, right. Let's expose this Beyonce broad. She's talking about how she don't need a man, all the single ladies, to the left, whatever. But the whole time, she cuffed up by Jay-Z. She the wife to Jay-Z, the billionaire musician, the billionaire celebrity, the billionaire rapper, the billionaire businessman. Beyonce can talk all that crap about being independent, not needing a man, but she goes home every night to her man, right? Independent, my ass, Beyonce. Single ladies, you are not a single lady, but you lying to these young little thoughts out here. Got them believing that the best way for them to go about living their lives is to not have a man. Wow. Liars, y'all. Hey, and listen, we gotta pay attention to what this broad in the orange is gonna say, okay? It's very telling, okay? It's very telling that when you tell one of these hyena broads, these horrors out here, the truth about their behaviors, they're triggered. Let's hear it. Trigger mode in action.
Hoflation, I mean, we're always trending, apparently, right? Because
Who's we?
Hoes. Mm-hmm. Because without us hoes, you wouldn't have like that.
She's putting the emphasis on trending. You know what? Listen how delusional these women are. She's emphasizing trending, being a popular talking point, but she is totally overlooking the fact that a trending issue is an issue that will definitely blow away with the wind. What about having something that is solid, a firm foundation with a family and a husband? You know what I'm saying? These women, these whores, don't think about that. It's crazy. This is very telling, indicative of a low value woman. They put the value on things that mean nothing. trending. She sat up here and she really said that we're trending. Whole culture, horror culture is trending, as if it really means something, as if it has some sort of value. No man values that, y'all.
So you sit here and you want to bash sex workers, but you know we come on here to bash anybody.
She missed the point again. She said Candace Owens was to come on here and bash sex workers. Nobody spoke about sex workers, y'all, at all. She spoke about highly promiscuous women, not sex workers. Two different categories here, okay? Two different categories. Okay, two different categories. A sex worker is somebody who went to the streets to work to make money for what they're doing here. We're talking about women who find pleasure and fulfillment in living this highly promiscuous horse lifestyle because they think it is the right way for women to behave today in the world. Totally different conversations going on here. She's talking about sex workers, and Candace Owens is talking about how the culture of modern day women has declined so far that women right now believe that it is perfectly okay and acceptable for them to be low value women.
Platform to speak. So I think that if he was going to be bashing you, he wouldn't even allow
But
anybody
making
on.
us the hero of Pose, if you will.
Wait, what do you mean making what?
Making a scene, like
I'm not making anybody seem any
you know,
sort of
like
No, I'm just talking about a video.
Do you hear that, y'all? Deflection, projection, blame shifting, just making up all kinds of lies to take the spotlight off of her and her triggered emotions. Now she is saying that this dude is, or they are making a scene. Nobody made a scene. The only person who made a scene was the triggered orange chick.
trending. We're a trending topic, so it's relevant to speak on.
Because it's interesting.
Wait, what?
It's
Yeah.
fascinating. I am
That's what I'm
fascinated
saying.
by hoes. I'll say it. I'm absolutely fascinated by the way the hoe mind works, the way the hoe hive works. I'm fascinated.
Next
I cover it
documentary.
on my show. You
And
are
it is
correct.
trending.
It is
I'm
trending.
saying, and that's why
when
it's such
Emma.
She said, y'all get that, y'all? She's fascinated by how the whole mind works, how the whole hive works, the whole mind and the whole hive. Wow. How does that work? Make it make sense. I don't get it. Make it make sense. Hoes believe that it's okay to be hoes. Make it make sense. Never, at one point in time in history, was it okay for women to be hoes. When? No, I don't get it either. No man will ever want that. Let's go.
Gets up
to
and does a
speak about.
video and says something like, you know, it's chic to be divorced before you're 30. It is absolutely fascinating.
What did she say? It's chic to be divorced before you're 30. Yeah, it is fascinating. It's chic to have a broken relationship, have a broken covenant with a man. Wow. Crazy. Candace Owens didn't hold nothing back, y'all. She gave you all the punches, all the smoke. Candace Owens kept it real. And this is why a lot of modern day black women do not like her, because she tells the truth. I support you, Candace Owens. Salute, salute.
See how someone's mind can be so warped, you know, in the same way that I think it's fascinating when anybody does anything crazy or says anything crazy, and I cover it on my podcast. You know, I am not knocking it at all. I just tell people what the facts are. You can choose this lifestyle, and here is where you are 99.9% likely to lead in your life, right? You are probably not destined for marriage. You're probably not destined for a stable relationship. Men are going to not want this long term. You can say it 1,000 times. You can have 1,000 cultural examples, and women's still got to go out there and be hoes, you know?
It's true. You can live the whore lifestyle as much as you want. Men will never choose the whore. Get over it. Men will never choose that. Yeah, we'll pipe you down. You know, we'll hop in, hop out. But we are not choosing you for the wifehood. We are not choosing you for wives.
Know, because they're about their money and about a Cardi B song or whatever it is. So yes, I think it is fascinating, and it is why I wanted to, you know, talk. This is why I talk about it on my podcast, and why I'm very interested to talk to you guys. And I hope you guys feel that I've been respectful in listening to, you know, your lifestyles, even though it's so different from mine. And so I appreciate Brian for hosting.
Salute, Candace Owens. Yeah, you told nothing but the truth so far. Let's keep going.
And then I have one more question, and then I think Candace will have to leave here in a moment. We have Yvonne. Okay.
Modern Life Dating donated $199. Hey Candace. Thank you for being a voice of common sense and a good representation of being a decent woman in today's modern perverse time. What are your thoughts on the passport bro movement of men leaving America for better wives abroad?
Yes, yeah, I think that you can find higher quality women in other places. Like, I married an Englishman. I think America.
Are you a passport?
Passport
Not a
lady.
bro, but like
Passport cis?
a passport cis.
Passport cis.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that America has really lowered the cultural standards for women more than any. You don't see this kind of, even the way women dress in America compared to England fascinates me. And so, yeah, I think find a wife, do what you gotta do, but also don't discount the South, because there are so many good women in the South in America. Come to Tennessee.
It's true, the USA has lowered the standards for women so far that they're in the bottom of the barrel, if they're even still in the barrel at all. It's in the sewer, in the gutter, in the dumpster. The decrepit state of women is horrendous. It's appalling. It's in such a low level that no man will ever want it. No man will ever choose it. So, yeah, she just co-signed the Passport Bro movement. And yeah, and listen, without Candace Owens co-signing that Passport Bro movement, I already knew for myself that for me, if I was to ever get married in my life, which I am, I'm a married man, I knew that I could never marry with a woman from the USA or a Western world. Why? Because the value is so far gone and so far into the gutter that I will never desire it. So listen, it's been your boy CAC in the Spotlight. And again, this is for the Passport Bro movement. All the brothers out here who got some passports went overseas to find better opportunities and better women. I salute you. Let's keep rocking this out, y'all. Passport Bro movement. Brothers, and if you stuck in the USA and you got to deal with these low value women, get some passports, get overseas, and find you a better quality woman. I guarantee you they're over there. And look in the Philippines. I'm married to a Filipino woman, and right now the marriage is very blissful. So again, before you leave this video, do your boy that favor, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this content, okay? This your boy CAC, letting y'all know that Candace Owens is co-signing this Passport Bro movement. And salute you, Candace Owens. Y'all be good. Your boy CAC, I'm out. Deuces. Peace. Before I forget, shout out to Dee Dee and Relationship Talk for this content, okay? Her video will be linked down in the description section. Y'all check it out.